Unmute.
Om Agnantimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
जय
His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
जय।
Bhakt, our Guruji Rupalas Prabhuji ki jai. Samasta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Yes, please go ahead. Last time you said 4 stories from book number 1.
That's
So
right.
if there are some remaining stories, you can continue with them.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna and Danvat Pranam to everybody. As Prabhuji said, we have been reading from the Gita Wisdom Tales by Gauranga Darshan Das. His Grace Gauranga Darshan Das has written these beautiful uh, stories, which are actually not stories, they are real kathas of Krishna and from our scriptures. And he has linked them to the Bhagavad Gita shlokas. So we've been reading from his book of Gnan, that is knowledge. We read 4 topics from that the last time. I will just read the topic names. We read about Krishna, the greatest person. When does God appear? Why does God appear? Is God partial? So today we move on to the 5th topic here. How does Krishna reciprocate? Ye yatha mam prapadyante tamstathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartamano vartante manushya partha sarvasha. Bhagavad Gita 4.11. Isn't it natural for you to befriend someone who behaves in a friendly manner with you? Similarly, wouldn't you deal differently with a person who behaves rudely with you? In this shloka, Krishna says, I respond to people as per the way they approach me. I reward them according to their actions. Everyone follows my path, whether they do it consciously or unconsciously. Here are the stories of 2 people, one who dealt with Krishna rudely and one who dealt with him lovingly. Let us see the outcomes. The arrogant washerman. Lord Krishna was born in Mathura, but he spent his childhood in Vrindavan. After spending many eventful years with the Gopas, the Gopis, and cows at Vrindavan, and performing various miracles, Krishna returned to his birthplace, Mathura. On entering the city, Krishna and his elder brother Balram met a washerman carrying colorful clothes for Kamsa, the cruel king of Mathura. Krishna politely asked him, "Dear washerman, we are cowherds coming from Vrindavan. Can you please give us some clothes? We desire to wear the beautiful garments that you are carrying. I promise you that you will be greatly blessed by offering us suitable clothes." What fortune! While millions of devotees eagerly wait for an opportunity to offer something to the Lord, Krishna himself was asking the washerman for some clothes. Instead of recognizing his good fortune, the proud washerman replied arrogantly, "How dare you ask for the king's clothes? You are an uncivilized poor cowherd. Do you think you deserve to wear such expensive garments? If you dare ask me for clothes again, the king's soldiers will beat you, arrest you, and kill you. Get away from here." While Krishna's request was very polite and gentle, the washerman's response was very rude. He publicly ridiculed Krishna with loud, angry, harsh, and insulting words. There were many washermen in Mathura, but this person happened to be the king's washerman and thus was very arrogant. Hearing the washerman's malicious words, Krishna effortlessly beheaded him merely with his fingertips. The Lord doesn't have to exert himself to punish the arrogant. The washerman's assistants, seeing his untimely end, dropped their bundles of clothes on the spot and ran away in different directions. An effulgence, the soul, emerged from the washerman's body and merged with Lord Krishna. Thus the Lord delivered him. Then Krishna, Balram, and the other cowherds moved on after dressing themselves elegantly. How merciful is Krishna! Even though the rude washerman insulted Krishna, yet he mercifully liberated him. The Lord is kind enough to give us opportunities to serve him. We need to be eager enough to grab them. Krishna blesses the weaver. After Krishna liberated the washerman, he continued touring Mathura. He then came upon a weaver. Out of fear of Kamsa, this weaver had never gone to Vrindavan, but he had heard of its splendid atmosphere and the miracles performed by the Lord from his companions who had visited Vrindavan. Thus, anxious to see the Lord, he finally met young Krishna and Balram. Feeling great affection for the young brothers, the weaver dressed them in soft silk clothes embedded with jewels. He offered them exquisite armlets, bracelets, and earrings that perfectly suited their complexions. The ornaments were suitable for the occasion too, because Krishna and Balram would soon fight Kamsa's wrestlers, and these soft ornaments wouldn't hurt their bodies. The brothers looked resplendent, pleased with the weaver's selfless service. Krishna blessed him to attain a cowherd's form in the spiritual world where he would enjoy varieties of divine pastimes. In his past life, the weaver had lived in Mithila. He was a great devotee and an expert weaver too. He had stitched extremely fine garments for Ram and Lakshmana to wear. On their wedding day, seeing Ram and Lakshman, who were more handsome than millions of cupids, the noble hearted weaver desired to personally dress the two lords with his own hands. Understanding his devotee's wish, Lord Ram decided to fulfill it. Thus, Ram and Lakshman again appeared as Krishna and Balram in Mathura and gave their devotee a chance to personally dress them. The Lord remembers the heartfelt desires of his devotees and fulfills them. The washerman in Mathura arrogantly refused to serve Krishna, an opportunity that every devotee eagerly desires. On the other hand, the weaver joyfully dressed and adorned Krishna. Krishna reciprocated differently with each time. But when he punishes someone, does it mean that he hates them? No. Even his punishment is his protection. To know how, read the next shloka and the stories. Your dearest friend. Bhagavad Gita 5.29. Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhrudam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shantim ruchati. Who do you think is your best friend? Obviously, the one who is your well-wisher at all times, right? What if that person is the most powerful and wealthiest person as well? Well, that personality is none other than Krishna. In this shloka, Krishna says, I am the supreme enjoyer of all sacrifices, supreme proprietor of all planets, and the dearest friend and well-wisher of all living beings. One who knows this about me attains supreme happiness and peace. Krishna is the well-wisher of not only his devotees, but of demons too. Let's read the stories of the two demons who tried to kill Krishna but were ironically liberated by his kindness. Monstrous Mother. Once a demoness named Putna was sent by Kamsa to kill baby Krishna in Gokul. Upon entering Gokul, Putna changed her form to that of a beautiful motherly woman. Seeing her, the innocent ladies thought that Goddess Lakshmi had come to see her husband Narayana, who was being worshipped in the house of King Nanda. Everyone trusted her beyond doubt. Although Putna's heart was fierce and cruel, she presented herself like an affectionate mother. She resembled a sharp sword in a soft sheath. She soon entered King Nanda's house without anyone's permission. Overwhelmed by her beauty and apparent motherly love, Mother Yashoda also didn't stop her. Putna went into the inner chambers and saw baby Krishna sleeping in his cot with his unlimited power covered like fire under ashes. Putna knew that this wasn't an ordinary child, but was bent upon fulfilling her purpose. She took Krishna on her lap, just as a fool places a sleeping snake on one's lap, thinking it to be a rope. The fierce demoness then started feeding her own milk to baby Krishna. With an evil intention to kill Krishna, Putna had smeared dangerous poison on her breast. That poison was so intense that even touching it could cause death. As soon as Krishna took hold of her breast, he squeezed it hard with his tender hands. He then began sucking both the poison and her life from her. Putna screamed out in severe pain, Please leave me, get away from me. Perspiring, her eyes wide open and her arms and legs flying in all directions, she cried loudly. People began falling to the ground, fearing thunderstorms and thunderbolts. Such was the ruckus she created. Putna could not maintain her disguise any longer. She reverted to her original form of a fierce demoness. Seeing her thus, everyone realized who she was. In this way, Putna lost her life. She fell down in the pasturing ground and smashed all the trees up to 12 miles. Krishna was fearlessly playing on Putna's huge body. The simple-hearted gopis immediately picked him up and performed some rituals for Krishna's safety. Mother Yashoda fed Krishna her milk and then laid him in bed. By Krishna's touch, Putna's body was purified and she was freed of all her sins. When the people of Vrindavan burnt her dead body, the smoke that emanated was so sweetly fragrant that people who were miles away could smell it. Initially, Krishna was angry at Putna because she had planned to kill many infants. However, he thought that Putna at least pretended to have the sentiments of a mother. Just seeing this, Krishna elevated her to the position of a motherly nurse to assist Mother Yashoda in Goloka Vrindavan. How can one find a person more merciful than Krishna? As the supreme well-wisher of all, his ultimate disposition towards all is mercy. Krishna tries to find some reason to shower his mercy even on demons. A haunted cart attacks God. Utkacha was the son of the powerful demon named Hiranyaksha. He was immensely strong and was proud of his strength. Once, Utkacha went to the hermitage of a sage named Lomasa. To show off his great strength, he randomly started uprooting trees here and there. Seeing him creating an unnecessary disturbance, the sage cursed him. "O evil hearted one, because you are so proud of your bodily strength, I curse you to become bodiless." Utkacha's body at once fell away, just as a snake's old skin falls away. He became a ghostly being without a body. Utkacha realized his mistake and fell at Lomasa's feet. "O great sage, I did not know your power. Please forgive me and give me back my body," he begged. Lomasa replied, "Only the dust of Lord Krishna's lotus feet can liberate you from this ghostly life." After this, Utkacha, wandering as a ghost, made friends with another demoniac person named Kamsa, who was the cruel maternal uncle of Lord Krishna. Kamsa sent many of his demoniac friends to find and kill Krishna. Utkacha also arrived in Gokula to kill Krishna. In King Nanda's courtyard, the demon entered a household cart loaded with many vessels made of gold, silver, and brass. In Sanskrit, a court is called Shakata and a demon is called Asura. Therefore, Utkacha is also known as Shakatasura, the cart demon. No one noticed Shakatasura as he was invisible. He waited for an opportunity to kill Krishna. At that time, Krishna was just 3 months old. Mother Yashoda laid Krishna down under the household cart that the ghost Utkacha had entered. She also lay down beside the child until he was asleep. When she saw that Krishna was fast asleep, she got up very gently and went back to attend some guests. Some children who were playing nearby observed Krishna as he slept peacefully. Because of Shakatasura, the wheels of the cart began to sink into the ground. Shakatasura intended to fall on Krishna and kill him. But baby Krishna awoke and cried, as is usual for an infant, for his mother's milk. Mother Yashoda was busy with guests at that time and couldn't hear the child crying. As an infant, Krishna angrily threw his little legs upwards in the air. The red sole of Krishna's soft foot touched the cart with the gesture of a kick. Although Krishna's foot was as tender as a newly grown leaf, his kick turned the cart upside down and completely dismantled it. The wheels and axle of the cart were dislocated, its handle was broken, and all the utensils on it were scattered here and there. Thus the demon in the cart died. Shakatasura had entered the cart invisibly and was destroyed invisibly. No one had noticed him. When the cart broke into pieces, Shakatasura left his subtle ghostly body and attained a pure spiritual body. He respectfully bowed down before Lord Krishna. In a chariot pulled by 100 horses, he went to Krishna's abode, Goloka Vrindavan, in the spiritual world. Such is the mercy of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Krishna punishes the demons so that they simply get liberated. If Krishna is so merciful to demons, just imagine how merciful he would be towards his devotees. Lord Krishna is supremely kind, for he is the well-wisher of all. He liberated both Putna and Shakatasura, the demons who intended to kill him. If Krishna gives such treatment to demons, the treatment he gives to his devotees has to be super special, right? So let's pray to him with all our heart and experience his sweet friendship. In the last 6 shlokas and stories related to them, we came to know a lot about the Lord. And now let's see how we can develop knowledge about God. Faith in the Guru. Bhagavad Gita Shloka 4.39. Shraddhava labhate gnanam tatpara samyatendriyah gnanam labdva param shantim achirenadhikachati. Who do you think among the following is indeed more knowledgeable? A. A school topper who gets excellent grades but is very proud, arrogant, and refuses to help anyone. Or B. A humble student who studies sincerely and helps others to the best of his or her ability but doesn't score top marks in class. Acquiring knowledge is not just about gathering some information and becoming a scholar. Real knowledge requires humility, good conduct, and respect for teachers. In this shloka, Lord Krishna says, one who has faith, Shraddha, devotion, and self control can easily gain knowledge and thus attain peace. Here are some stories of great people who had deep faith in their gurus and thus attained knowledge. The uneducated scholar. At the holy place of Sri Rangam in South India, there lived a simple Brahmana. He used to visit the temple daily and attempt to recite the Bhagavad Gita with great joy. However, as he had not had formal schooling, he couldn't pronounce the words correctly. People mocked, criticized, and laughed at him, but he did not take offense. Neither was he discouraged. As he continued reading, he would get goosebumps and tears of joy would well up in his eyes. At that time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, an incarnation of Lord Krishna, who was touring South India, visited the very same temple. Upon seeing the Brahmana, he asked him, "My dear friend, why are you crying? Surely your tears aren't due to any pain or distress. Please tell me, which part of the Bhagavad Gita gives you such joy?" The Brahmana innocently replied, "I am an uneducated man. I don't know the meaning of the words I read. Sometimes I pronounce them correctly and sometimes not. But still, I read the Bhagavad Gita only to honor my Guru's instructions. Whenever I open the Gita, I see Lord Krishna driving Arjuna's chariot, taking the reins in his hands. I feel so delighted seeing how affectionate the Lord is towards his devotees." Appreciating the Brahmana's submissiveness to his Guru and his love for Krishna, Lord Chaitanya continued, "You are the best reader of the Bhagavad Gita. Whatever you know constitutes the real essence of the Gita." Speaking thus, Lord Chaitanya embraced him. Lord Chaitanya was actually Lord Krishna himself, who came in the form of a sannyasi. By the Lord's mercy, this understanding was revealed to the Brahmana. He caught the Lord's feet and expressed his feelings. "Upon seeing you, my happiness knows no bounds. You are the same Lord Krishna." Scholarship isn't essential for understanding the scriptures, but faith in the Guru, along with devotion to God, is. The service of a scholar. In ancient India, there once lived a great scholar named Dasarathi. He was a disciple of the great saint Ramanuja Acharya. Once Dasarathi asked Ramanuja to explain the meaning of the final instruction of Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. At that same time, Ramanuja's sister Atulai arrived distressed at the scene. Seeing his sister in anxiety, Ramanuja asked Atulai, "What happened? Why are you so upset?" Atulai replied, "Dear brother, my father has sent me here. At my father-in-law's house, daily had to collect water from a lake which was over 2 miles away. I brought water twice a day, but the road to the lake was very rough and deserted. Therefore, I got scared and also really exhausted with the effort. Ramanuja listened patiently while Atulai continued. I told my mother-in-law about these difficulties, but rather than sympathizing with me, she became enraged and told me to get a servant from my father's house for the job. Having received such ruthless treatment, I returned to my father's house, and he suggested that I approach you for help. Ramanujacharya immediately responded, Dear sister, please don't worry. I will send along with you a Brahmana who will fetch water for you and will cook food as well. Saying this, he glanced at the scholarly Dasarathi, indicating that he was supposed to accompany Atulai as a servant. Dasarathi gladly followed Atulai to her father-in-law's house. There he began working in the kitchen with great care and attention. In this way, 6 months passed by. One day, an assembly of people gathered in the village to attend a lecture by the great scholar. Dasarathi was also among the crowd. In his talk, the speaker gave some faulty explanations of a Sanskrit shloka. Dasarathi couldn't restrain himself after hearing such misinterpretations. He stood up and pointed out those errors. At this, the speaker got furious and shouted, Stop, you fool! How can a servant like you explain the scriptures? Go back to the kitchen and display your talents there. Without being annoyed or discouraged, Dasarathi calmly went on explaining the shloka's correct meaning. His flawless presentation, based on many scriptures, left everyone in the assembly, including the angered speaker, speechless. Realizing his mistake, the speaker begged his pardon and fell at Dasarathi's feet. The speaker asked, How is it that such a learned scholar and devotee as yourself is doing such menial work in the kitchen? Dasarathi replied, I am simply following the order of my guru. When all the people learned that he was Dasarathi, the famous devotee scholar, together they went to Sri Rangam and met Ramanujacharya. They said in unison, O great saint, it is improper for your worthy disciple to serve in the kitchen any longer. He is so knowledgeable, yet his heart is free of any pride. Please allow us to bring him back to you. Ramanujacharya was very pleased to hear the people praising his disciple in such a way. He replied, I shall come with you to bring him back. Dasarathi. Ramanujacharya then personally went to fetch Dasarathi. Dasarathi bowed down to Ramanuja, who then embraced and blessed him. Together they returned to Sri Rangam. Ramanujacharya then explained to Dasarathi Lord Krishna's final instruction to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, which reveals how a devotee completely takes shelter of the Lord. By his selfless and humble service, Dasarathi received the learnings of the Bhagavad Gita from his guru. A true disciple doesn't doubt his guru's instructions, but accepts them with faith. The uneducated Brahmana followed the instructions of his guru, although others mocked him. Dasarathi took up the menial services Ramanujacharya assigned to him, although he was a great scholar. In this way, obeying and keeping strong faith in the instructions of teachers enables us to become recipients of divine knowledge. Apart from faith in our guru, what else is needed to acquire knowledge? Yes, you guessed it right. Devotion to God. That's our next topic. Devotion gives knowledge. Bhagavad Gita 18.55. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato gyatva vishate tad anantaram. What is the qualification to know God? Wealth, beauty, scholarship, strength? Actually, none of these. In this shloka, Lord Krishna teaches us the real qualification to know him. Only by loving devotion unto me does one truly know me. By thus knowing me, my devotee always thinks of me and comes to me. If we have love and devotion for God, we can easily understand Him and explain His greatness to others as well. Without devotion, no one can attain knowledge of God or the ability to write or speak about God. Here are some stories for you to help you appreciate the shloka better. The 5-year-old guru of a scholar. About 9 centuries ago, in Sri Rangam, a holy place in southern India, there lived a 5-year-old child named Parashara. One day, a famous scholar named Digvijay Pandit arrived at Sri Rangam. He was a great champion of logic, grammar, and philosophy. He traveled throughout India challenging scholars to debate. He gained much wealth and fame by defeating many scholars in debates. He always had 4 strong men carry him in a beautifully decorated palanquin from town to town, city to city. He had brahmanas chanting mantras and shlokas loudly as he traveled. There was no question that he couldn't answer. Whenever he arrived at any place, all the scholars would run away in fear of a challenge. At Sri Rangam, little Parashara ran up to him and said, "Sir, I have a question for you." He looked down from his palanquin and said, "I am the champion scholar of the world. You are just a child. Go away." Parashara argued, "But I have a question for you." He said, "Your mother's milk is still on your lips. Out from here. Debating is serious stuff." The little boy said, "If you are enlightened, why are you putting so much emphasis on the size of my body? I am not just my body. Please answer my question." Exasperated, the Pandit asked, "What is your question?" The little boy picked up a handful of sand. He held it right in front of the Pandit's face and said, "Tell me, sir, how many grains of sand are there in my hand?" The scholar was speechless. He had never been asked such a question. Then little Parashara spoke. "A person with real knowledge sees God in everyone's heart. Such a person is like a tree with delicious fruits. A tree that has good fruits bows down. Similarly, if you are not humble before God and His devotees, then all your knowledge is as worthless as this handful of sand. One who is humble learns even from younger people." The second story in this topic, a commentary by God's grace. Once the king of Jaipur was challenged by some scholars. They said, "Your Gaudiya Vaishnavism school is not authentic. Although you have commentaries, explanations on the scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the Upanishads, you don't have a commentary on the Vedanta Sutras written by sage Vyasa." The king really wished to respond to this challenge and establish the authenticity of the Gaudiya Vaishnava school, Sampradaya. He was reminded of his guru, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, a great devotee of Lord Krishna. Vishwanath Chakravarti was a great author who had written many devotional books. The king then sent word to his guru asking for his help. But at that time, Vishwanath Chakravarti was very old and could not travel to Jaipur in person. Therefore, he sent his scholarly disciple Baladev Vidyabhushan instead. Baladev Vidyabhushan understood the situation, but he hesitated, thinking, "How can I write a commentary on the Vedanta Sutras? Vyasdev, the author of the Vedanta Sutras, has already written a commentary in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. When the author himself has written a commentary, how can I write it again?" But since the king is so worried about establishing the authenticity of our Vaishnava school, and they all are insisting, maybe I should give it a try. Thinking thus, Baldev Vidyabhushan went to the temple of Lord Govindaji. He prayed to the Lord for some direction and fell at his feet. In sanction, Lord Govindaji's garland fell on him. Lord Govinda thus blessed his dear devotee with the expertise and ability to write the commentary. Baldev Vidyabhushan felt extremely grateful and thus wrote the commentary. He was given a month's time to write the commentary, but Baladev completed it much sooner. Baladev Vidyabhushan declared, "What I have written as the commentary to the Vedanta Sutra are not my words. I have written whatever Lord Govindaji made me write. Therefore, this commentary will be known as the Govinda Bhashya."
Unmute.
Sorry. Baladev Vidyabhushan declared, "What I have written as the commentary to Vedanta Sutra are not my words. I have written whatever Lord Govindaji made me write. Therefore, this commentary will be known as the Govinda Bhashya. Govinda Bhashya, that was personally blessed and inspired by Lord Govinda in reciprocation to the devotion of Baldev Vidyabhushan, eventually became a famous and profound explanation on the Vedanta Sutra. Krishna is very eager to reveal rare knowledge to his devotees who surrender unto him. Proud Digvijay Pandit, who had no devotion towards the Lord, was defeated by a child in a debate. But Baldev Vidyabhushan, who had great devotion, was empowered by the Lord to write a great scholarly commentary and uphold the credibility of a Vaishnava school. So it's devotion that provides knowledge and at times is more important than knowledge itself. So, children, now you know a lot about God and also learned how to reach Him. Would you like to know something about yourself and the nature? Then read the last two shlokas and the connected stories. Hare Krishna. I
Hare
hope you
Krishna.
enjoyed the reading thus far.
Yes.
Time seems to be running out on us. So, if I have your permission, we can continue the next time. Or would you like me to read another shloka? Whatever.
One more shloka.
One more shloka. Okay.
Otherwise, it is from the same book or the book is finished?
It's from the same book, has two more shlokas.
Two more shlokas. Okay, so can you keep it for next time?
We'll keep it for next time.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Very nicely
Pranam.
explained. Thank you so much. Aishwarya, can you stop recording, please? Disappeared. Aishwarya.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji trying to do it.
Yes. Please stop recording.